I've witnessed something truly horrible. My 18F cousin, 24M, came to stay with my family for a few weeks. I had to give him my room and was initially planning on sleeping on the couch in the living room, but it was really uncomfortable and painful since I have scoliosis. So my parents offered for me to sleep in their room. They have a king-sized bed and there's enough space for us all. At first, I was a bit reluctant because I thought it would be weird to share a bed with my parents. But after spending 2 nights on the couch, my back was killing me and so I agreed to sleep in their room. Everything was okay for a week or so, but last night, I woke up to the sound of my parents having sex. It was horrible, so fucking gross. As I'm writing this, I can still hear the creaking of the bed and the weird thumping sound in the back of my head. I laid there, frozen for I don't know how long. After they were finished, my parents took turns going to the washroom and then fell asleep soon after. I couldn't sleep for what felt like hours. Today when I woke up, I saw my mom in the room and it was dreadful. I can't look at them the same way ever again. My parents don't know that I heard them and I hope, for my sake and theirs, that they never do find out. I'm literally scared to sleep in that room again. I'd rather break my back than hear those terrible, terrible noises again. Why wasn't your cousin put on the couch? Guest is God, yada yada. Then your dad could have slept on the couch and you could have shared the bed with your mom? Not even that, they could have just avoided having sex for the time being. It's not exactly a necessity. They could have gone in the bathroom and had sex then showered. Parents are gross and wrong. Obviously Op would be selected to sleep on the couch rather than his father. But Op has a medical condition, scoliosis. If the guest cannot be asked to sleep on the couch, then that was the only solution as having an 18-yo sleep with their parents is weird AF. Some people be like that. Not saying Op parents are abusive in any matter, but it looks like that. Emo, I'd tell them. They deserve to be awkward about it and you shouldn't suffer the mental hell alone loudly crying, plus what were they thinking? Couldn't they have waited a few days? Or gone to the bathroom? Icker like why do it while they were sharing the bed and everything loudly crying? Maybe they had a kink? MF so many other rooms and choices yet the same place as Op? I heard my parents one time and told them to fuck off. Because I wanted to sleep. I don't know how I didn't freeze lol. They were moody in the morning. Especially my dad. LMAO good on you for standing your ground. Why were they moody though? They should have been embarrassed WTF skull. So what if you cockblocked your dad? Some things are just not socially acceptable anymore. Especially in 2023. That being said, even if it's a fetish or whatever, some fantasies should just stay fantasies, period. I assume he was moody because my mom really was almost never in the mood since she was sick at the time and I cockblocked his ass. I feel like my dad is sexually frustrated and my older brother agrees. We have never talked as a family about it because well, why would I like to know their sex life? But yeah, he was mad as hell for like a week lol. Fetish or kink, there must be consent from everyone present. Otherwise, it is abuse. Oh geez, that's gross. Once my parents did it with the door opened when I was like 15. I was in my bedroom and the rooms were not that far apart. I made a dig at them in the next morning so they never did it again. Parents can get embarrassed too. People having sex in the same bed as their daughter have absolutely no shame. They wouldn't be embarrassed. It almost sounds violating. IDK, my generation is so big on consent, and known to be kinkier, so we can be more open-minded but also very offended by stuff like this. They subjected someone to something sexual that didn't want to hear, be next to. Why couldn't they have just taken it to the bathroom weary or sneak to the garage or wait till morning when the kid wasn't around? Yes, it's sexual abuse. I once confronted my parents about it when I was 13 or 14. Now my mother is blaming me that their sex life died. Gain blaming your child instead just shutting the door skull and crossbones that was over 10 years ago. At first I skimmed it and was like you should have just ignored it, but in the same bed, cold sweat smile, cold sweat smile. That's so weird of them, LMAO, I'm so sorry. Not weird, gross. Who has sex with their grown child sleeping in the same bed? That's just wrong. I'm sorry, op. Exactly. It's nasty. As hard as this sounds, I would confront them. When they are both in the room, thanks for fucking while I was in the room last night. I'm utterly disgusted and can't even look at you. In what universe did you think that was appropriate? Cousin is now going to be sleeping on the couch and I'm taking my room back. You can tell him why. Then walk out. That's enough Reddit for today. What kind of parents actually think of fucking each other when their kid is in the room? Never mind, do it loudly crying. Edit. Spelling, grammar. Removed. That should be reported to child services. Literally. How is it not? That is a minor being exposed to sexual activity right in front of them. This is still sexual assault emo, but op is not a minor. It actually is not legal to do this. They could get their child taken away for this. I'm not saying whether I have an opinion, but it quite literally is abuse. I hope you reported this to CPS. My mom used to do similar things. Fucking her friends in bed next to me when I was little. I still remember all of it. She would talk super sexual to me too. Told me at 8 that I should never let men run a train on me. She really fucked up my relationship with sex and intimacy, and I still have really bad issues because of that and much more. I'm so sorry you went through that. This is why some of the dismissive comments on this post are pissing me off. They're acting like exposing children to sexual activity has zero affect. Parents who do this are disgusting. It's a form of sexual abuse. Including kids in any way, even just making them be present for sex, is disgusting. I'm surprised some are being dismissive. IDKY, it's hard to understand that it's wrong even if you don't understand the long-term effects. Growing up like that is so confusing. So many boundaries crossed there. I am so sorry. That would have been awful even if they were just friends of yours, but your parents? I don't even want to imagine. Hearing your parents have sex is one thing. It's happened to me. Awkward, but hey, grown adults. Cool that they are still into each other, etc. But they were fucking while you were in the bed with them? WHAAAAT, this is not okay. I'm so sorry. What the hell were they thinking? I think you have to say something, no matter how uncomfortable it might be, because this is just not okay. You have a serious health condition and need to sleep comfortably. They need to either have your cousin take the couch or one of them takes the couch. Or they need to hold off on having sex till your cousin leaves. This is not cool. It's actually sexual abuse. I agree. There are so many comments and none have mentioned this so far. I am sorry, but what the fuck is up with your parents having sex while you are in the same room? Like, WTF. I can't even have sex when I have guests. Over even if they're in another room BC, it makes me uncomfortable. I can't imagine doing it with my, although hypothetical, child in the bedroom. That's so weird and disgusting. In the same bed even. Oh gods, I missed that part. The same bed. The same bed, I have no words. I struggle with knowing my daughters are just in the next room over. Nauseated face, I could never get turned on with my child in the room, asleep or not. That's fucking disgusting. What the actual fuck? YTF did you have to vacate your room for a cousin? You have scoliosis, you need your bed. I have scoliosis. It's caused a pinched nerve in the past which impacted my ability to walk. I couldn't walk. I dragged my foot. When I was heavily pregnant, I moved to the couch because my partner was snoring and I couldn't sleep. He has scoliosis, even worse than me. I'm shocked that you were kicked out of your own bed for your cousin. What the hell is wrong with your parents? It's like they wanted you to see them. Gross. Just gross. Apparently a lot of parents like to show how hospitable they are by completely inconveniencing their own children. There was only one time when I was made to give away my bed. My aunt who was staying over. I hated it. I had to share a small queen-size bed with my sister and grandmother, and I had a very light, uncomfortable sleep. After that, I made it very clear that I'm not letting anyone else sleep in my bed, and my grandmother called me selfish and insensitive for that. I don't care. Boundaries should be set for our own sanity, even if it makes us look like an asshole. Or we suffer like Op did. But I'm grateful that at least none of my family members are unhinged enough to pull something that crazy. OP's parents are just weird for that. I had to give up my bed only once, but my brother and I liked having campouts in the living room, so we were happy to. My fiancé was kicked out of his bed when family came to visit. He had a shitty bed on the floor, no bed frame. Only then did his mom get him a new bed and frame because she didn't want to look like a bad host and mom. But what Op went through is awful. Just why?